doesn't help to knock around military intelligence agents either. Harry Green was a friend of mine for a long time.
All right. Can we talk just for a few minutes? I just want to make a couple of points. A couple of points you already know, but we're just going to get a refresher course on the topic. We want to just speak real quick on two old thoughts or opinions or beliefs that come from out of the soul, or what we call the Black community, African American community. We just want to bring that to the forefront for just a few minutes, and we can discuss further in the comment section. And these 2 points that we will hear from many is, I don't need a leader. We can follow ourselves. Also, if we do follow leadership, the most popular leadership that we follow, that we support, that we get behind, the most popular are those who are deceased. Let's speak about I don't need a leader attitude. I don't need to follow nobody attitude. And the main reason why we say that is because we don't depend on other soul brothers and sisters. We don't depend on other Black people for our survival. So we say that we're confident, but we never say that in regards to Caucasian people, because white people provide your internet, your electricity, your water, your gas, your food, your jobs, and etc., etc., etc. So you have no choice to follow them directly or indirectly. We were born under their leadership, and that's all that we know. Our minds have been programmed from birth to follow the white man. No matter what you say, I'm Black power. Our minds have been conditioned from birth for generations to follow the white man, and you will follow the white man because he gives you the internet, electricity, gas, food, clothing, shelter, jobs, etc., etc., etc. So all that big shot crap you talking out your mouth like you big and bad, I only follow myself, you're a damn lie. You even speak English, and most of us, the only language that we know how to speak is English, because we follow these people, our arrogance. But the reality is we see exactly who you follow. And if Black people, if soul brothers and sisters, if we provided jobs and electricity, gas, and all these things, and housing and shelter, whatever, to support your lifestyle, your being, you would not be running your damn mouth and degrading and putting down and talking your garbage. I don't follow nobody. We all follow, directly or indirectly. We follow. Our path to following a leader begins at birth, when we follow our mother and our parents in general. We follow their lead. We follow their example. We follow the siblings who are older than us. We look at them as an example. They are our influence. We follow them. We follow the lead of what we're taught in school. Whether the education comes from parents or comes from the public school system, we follow the leadership and the influence of television and radio. We follow the people, the strangers out in the street, in general society. What does and how is and where is society going into this place where we were born from? We are in a communal civilization or communal society. We are social beings and we follow, whether you like it or not, directly or indirectly. We are following something or someone, dead or alive. We are following, unless you come into this world and you create your own, of which you have not and you do not do. And within our following, many of us, we begin to understand the workings of society, and we understand what gives us value. We begin to try to find our place in society, on the top, in the middle, or on the bottom. And we begin to try to get to those places by trying to impress those who, if we are on the bottom, we want to go to the middle or we want to get to the top. We have to follow the path that the leadership has established in order for us to get there. So we try to impress leadership so we can get those special favors. And as you climb higher within the hierarchy of leadership, those who control, those who dominate, we want to become part, or at least think that we are part of that machine. We are part of the leadership that control, that dominate. What must be realized is that it is not leadership is not the problem. The problem is good or bad leadership. Like we have good parents and we have bad parents. Good parents look out for what is in the best interest of their children so their children can have the best send-off in life. Then you have bad parents that don't care nothing about their offspring. If you make it, you make it. You don't, you don't. Good leadership that is not corrupt looks at what can they do in order to benefit the whole. Corrupt leadership looks at what is in the best interest that is for the rich or those who are on the top of the hierarchies rather, in the society or the nation or the tribe or even the family. What is in the best interest of specific persons? Then there are those of us, we understand leadership, but I follow dead people. I follow Jesus. I follow Muhammad. Well, you say that Jesus is not dead. Jesus is alive. But Jesus is not here. So we love to follow leadership. We love to follow those beings or those persons which is either dead or they're not here in order to give us leadership. So we love Jesus and we love Malcolm X and we love now Elijah Muhammad and we love Dr. King and we love many of us. We love and talk about we follow dead people. You cannot follow Elijah Muhammad. Elijah Muhammad is dead. Malcolm X is dead. Marcus Garvey is dead. You cannot follow dead people. No matter how much you desire, you cannot follow the dead. And if you follow dead people, they can only lead you to the point where they die. So here you are, you have a group of people. I follow Marcus Garvey. I follow Malcolm X. I follow Dr. King. And if you look at them, they are in the same place where Marcus Garvey died, where Malcolm X died, where Dr. King died. They are still lost in the 1930s, 1940s, the 1960s, because that's where these people died. And when something dies, it no longer can progress. It can no longer move forward. When somebody or something dies, it falls. And its life ends in a specific time period. So here we are and we follow Jesus. So we are stuck 2,000 years ago. So we follow Prophet Muhammad, may peace be upon him, but we are stuck 1,400 years ago. There's no progress, there's no evolution in the human being. And those things that we are taught, if they are to continue to help us, they must be revised. The television that we watch right now is not the television from the 1950s. It has been revised. It has evolved. The car that we drive is not the car that we used to drive in the 1940s. The car is different. It's revised. All these things are more powerful. They are more technological. And that's the way we have to look at our teachings. This is the way that we have to look at our leadership. Our leadership must have the mindset and the vision. If you don't create something new, I will say that again. If you do not create something new, then you need to learn how to revise. You need to learn how to recycle and make new what you taught. So the teachings of Marcus Garvey must be revised. Pan-Africanism, the way it was taught in the 1930s or 40s or 50s, it must be revised. It must be changed. It must be transformed in order for it to fit the living of 2021. And this is why, and you wonder why you cannot progress. No matter how hard you try, you make pretty speeches and you feel good about what you're doing, but the end result is death because you're following death. You are part of death. It is not Marcus Garvey's fault that he is gone. It's not Dr. King's fault or Malcolm X's fault that they are gone. They served their time and they are no longer here. But if you want to continue to use them as an influence, you must accept the fact that they are not here. And now you must use your brain the same way they use their brain. I will say that again. You must use your brain the same way they use their brain in order to bring that teaching from the 1930s or the 50s or to the 60s. Now you must bring it to 2021. I suggest to you that you learn the lessons from Dr. King and you learn the lessons from Marcus Garvey and Malcolm and all our former brothers and sisters that came to us. And we formulate something new for us, for our time, for the living. For the dead has served its purpose. The dead has served its time. And if you want to live, then you must act like you're living. Malcolm X knowledge, Dr. King knowledge, Marcus Garvey knowledge, and all those of whom we admire and adore, of course we should admire and adore them, but their time is gone. We must evolve, and we must learn from their failure. We must learn from their success, and either we revise what they taught us for our day, or we must create a new strategy. And I would say, and I would advise to us that we need to formulate a new strategy, a new way of thinking, a new way of looking at life for ourselves in 2021. And we will move forward because that's what life does. Life evolves, life moves forward, but the dead remains where the dead fallen. So do you want to become or stay a Negro, or do you want to become a soul man? Do you want to gain your life back? This is the choice that we have to make. Either continue to be dead or come to life.